What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It. And
Yeah.
today we got a more inquisitive topic to talk about. However, we are very excited about it. Are we? The vaccine. So, yeah.
I think that we should mention that today, on March 10th, is the day that we got the letter for our school saying that we are progressing into the fall semester. I had the letter screenshot, but I'm not going to bring it up. But it pretty much said that you need a vaccine, or wasn't there another option?
Religious, like
or
state
medical.
The only
or
reason
medical thing from your doctor.
is like religious reasons or
Yeah,
medical.
it's either get the
Or medical,
vaccine or no, or like you had those reasons, but I don't know how they're gonna do that though.
Well, they said with that, if you complying with those, they're going to be opening up housing in the rest of school. So they're going to be providing housing.
So what about
Wow.
people who stay off campus? They need to still get one, right?
Yeah, you have to be medically
Yeah, 'cause
cleared
you
to go to
still
school,
gotta-
period.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
But that's just what it said so far. But I mean, they haven't given us, a full plan on how we are going to be going back to school or anything.
So they
But that's
ain't
what
gonna say yes or no because we all gonna have to take it anyway.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, but at the
If you
same
want to come
time,
back,
and this is for everybody who's like, who is watching and things like that. There is a reason why a lot of people aren't like that, don't want to take this vaccine. And it's a good reason.
well, I'll say it's half and half because like you have the people who like from past history how they experiment on black people, but then you also have the people who are just looking at the dumb stuff that's on social media that's not even real.
Not even real.
Like
Right.
that's majority of our people, African Americans, are looking at the stuff that's on social media, not
But
what has actually happened in the past.
I agree with you to a point. I still believe that, what I'm saying, as black men and women, there was the Tuskegee experiment. So it still was scary. Like, what is putting in my body? Would you microwave a steak? Like, I'm being dead serious. Would you microwave a steak from Ruth Chris?
But is that analogy?
No, would you? Like, I'm being
Oven
dead serious.
didn't
Would you
No,
make it for
no.
yourself?
No.
You wouldn't, no. So why would you take a vaccine that was ready, like a microwave-ready vaccine? Why would you do that?
The fact that coronavirus, the actual COVID, has been researched a lot longer than just this year. Just because now it's a problem, people have this assumption that just because we started to identify it and the vaccine has to be made, that we weren't aware about it before. We knew that.
Behind the scenes.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and I
So-
feel like people who say like, they don't have a cure for like HIV and that type of stuff. So how did they get a cure for COVID? I feel like with COVID, it was like the whole world like working on this. It wasn't just like America. And plus, it's like we're so advanced in technology. Like, of course, they're gonna come up with something faster. And like they came up with something else because like that's what's the problem right now.
COVID is like a strain from like the flu. So we already have so much research on the flu and stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's like they just had to do an extra mile to get to what we needed for COVID. It wasn't that hard. Like they didn't just start from scratch, basically.
Yeah, and it people are like, it happened in a year, but
Right.
I mean, it could have happened in a month. You know what I'm saying? They had a possible, vaccine within the first month. It's been through trial this whole time, so it's not something that isn't tested as well. Yes, you have to worry about long-term effects, but there's nothing that they're putting in your body actively that's just like, gonna transform you tomorrow. Because
Why wouldn't it?
I have my vaccine, and
We know you had a vaccine.
Do you all want this pandemic to be over?
Right. That's
it's
what I'm
like,
saying.
y'all
Like,
don't want to wear y'all
every-
masks. And
A lot of
the
people
vaccine
are
come out of
scared.
nowhere, and it's like, no, I don't want to do that. So it's like y'all just probably just want to just be in a pandemic forever.
right. Like, if you don't want to get the vaccine, then how are we gonna get out the pandemic?
We got people who don't want to do the vaccine and don't want to even wear a mask. Like they just
Right. So what y'all want to do? Just
Right.
leave the pandemic life.
And a lot of people think like, oh, getting COVID is better than getting vaccinated, but I don't think that's 100%.
No. It's different for everybody.
How did the vaccine go for something horrible? And I'll tell y'all why, like, it changed for me. Something very terrible to, like, a time where, like, hey, we don't have to get out of this.
I think it was like experience.
It's
Like,
research.
yeah, like first my grandma got it, she was fine. And then like all these other people getting it, they're fine. And it's like every myth that you've seen on social media has been debunked. So it's just kind of like, why am I still thinking this? Let me just go ahead and get mine.
And
Like I'm
there are
fine.
those out there.
So
There are those out there. But what about the true people who died?
I don't think anyone has died from the vaccine. I don't think like.
Oh no, I ain't talking about the
Mm-mm.
vaccine. We're talking about COVID.
I've never gotten the flu shot, and everybody who I know in my inner circle or family who's gotten the flu shot immediately afterwards got the flu.
That's how it
So
works. That's how it works.
I don't even get sick often. So like listening to things initially about the vaccine, I wasn't really like, if it wasn't mandatory, I wasn't going to get it just because I wasn't sure how my body was going to react to it. Like I'm not used to just getting things just to prevent something when I never had it.
A lot of people's like immune systems are different. Like there's people who really have horrible immune systems that need this vaccine, but like some people, and there's some people who are asymptomatic who don't even have like symptoms and stuff. So I feel like everyone should just get the vaccine at this point because if we want to get back to normal and stuff, we
Who
probably
was that? If it was like that, we wouldn't live in America.
I feel like I'm more skeptical because, like Cole said, we don't know the long-term effects of the
Well,
vaccine.
that's true.
And like 5 years from now, people could have like, problems with their health because of this vaccine, and we would not know that because it's a new vaccine that just came out versus the flu shot where we kind of know what people have experienced and like the results from that.
Yeah, but I feel like that's like with anything though. That's like anything you put in your body, you don't know how it's gonna affect you long term. So
What if they end up being like I Am Legend, y'all? So like, what if this just go bad? Like, what if this just like
Why would you say that?
because it's
Why
real,
would you
bro?
say
Like,
that?
what if everybody like we was talking about it? Y'all woo woo. Oh yeah, just take the vaccine. They
That
found
really
the
is
cure
kinda
to cancer. They give it out to the people. And they trial it out, and then the people who they gave it to turn into freaking vampires. That's what happened, and they can't walk outside.
Yes,
So he's there alone.
Wait, but the different like you can literally like look up. Like I looked up the ingredients in the vaccine. You can literally look it up. The first link, it will list
What's in it?
everything. I don't
there's
know how
some
to
of that stuff
pronounce
is
them
already in
words.
vaccines
Them
that we're
words
already
is
on.
like this big.
Tell it. No, read it. Read it. What's the ingredients?
I cannot read it. Like,
Why can't you?
And then you read it and you don't even know. You
No,
don't even
because
but what I'm saying
Right, he
is,
gonna read, you're gonna be like, yeah, I've heard of that. What's reading it gonna do?
right, like something like that.
Eli, edit in somebody listing out the ingredients of the vaccine.
Hi, my name is Paul Offit from the Vaccine Education Center. One of the questions parents have about these two new vaccines, these so-called messenger RNA vaccines made by Pfizer and Moderna, is what's in it? I mean, how do I know that that's safe? One is so-called messenger RNA, which is a small genetic fragment that teaches our cells how to make protein. The second component is the so-called sort of lipid droplet, a little fatty droplet that encases that messenger RNA. Another component is, or sort of salt, frankly, sodium chloride, just like the salt that is in table salt, and then sugars. The reason that those products are in vaccines that sort of help buffer and stabilize this so that these nanoparticles can remain separate and so that they can be stable. All of that is in vaccines.
You can Google it and then Google each part and be like, okay, this what this do, blah blah blah. And
You
then
know,
like
This dude. What's one of the main ingredients that you was looking up and reading on?
I'm looking.
you know how
It's gonna be like not to be.
they'll have like all them health problems, like it can cause heart disease, like super
Oh,
fat.
diarrhea.
We like look at
They just going with it.
Diarrhea, throw up.
look how big that word is.
Polyethylene?
No, the one
Glycerol.
under that.
That in your toothpaste?
Glycerol.
Yeah.
Right, isn't that in your toothpaste? Right.
So we injecting toothpaste in this.
Oh God! Look, that
Look,
didn't
see,
serve.
You put it in your mouth.
no, it did because toothpaste cleans your teeth. So if we injecting it, it's cleaning our
You
systems.
sound
Like it's the same thing.
We talked about how the vaccine. You see how we feel about it, but the real reason why we wanted to talk about vaccine is because we get to go back to school if we take this
Got the
vaccine.
letter today, y'all.
Yeah.
We got the letter, like Bailey said. So,
Right.
what y'all ready for coming back? Fall, you left a sophomore. You coming back a
Back a
senior.
senior. Oh,
What's the word? What's happening?
somebody said cars. We're gonna have cars.
We're gonna have
Cars, y'all.
Cars.
We have houses. I mean,
Houses.
apartments.
Townhouses.
No,
We have townhouses.
We have
Yeah,
houses.
not apartment, townhouse.
We are not on campus. We are not bound
We
by
are
not
not.
having
It's
no
like
girls in our dorm.
we came in the little dogs, and now we coming back the big dogs.
So like during Corona, like we were 6 feet apart from people for a very long time. Like to the point where now dudes don't even dap each other up when they see each other. Like you would be like, What up, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's no full. Let me touch, get close to you at these parties.
We
Do
have
you think
fuck it.
that they going to be throwing, shaking? It's gonna be masked up, y'all. People just gonna be looking at each
I'm
other.
still wearing my mask. I don't care.
Yeah, like if you see in Atlanta, like they act like there's no
Yeah.
COVID. They
Atlanta,
still,
Not in
COVID don't
Atlanta.
exist in
and
Atlanta.
but like
That's never
realistically,
This
happened.
is not
with
Atlanta.
us, there won't be any COVID, so we can literally just,
And I
that's
don't
true. And
know. Like,
Hampton Booth,
I don't even think they're gonna even be hosting Highlands or 12 to 2. I don't know.
CDC said we could, so
I
We
think the
have
most dangerous thing we would face is people coming off of campus.
we have a closed campus.
yeah.
If they
Mm,
do
We
be
have
acting out crazy,
other people. You could just walk. I was at OSU, y'all. I was at OSU. I literally just walked up into their dorm. Walked in there.
ODU shit, all of them.
Easy. Just eat. Walked in. Could have opened the door if it was open. It was easy.
Hey, how
Like
you
you can.
doing?
just got real
I'm not
comfortable.
saying like we would do. Disclaimer: if you're trying to do stuff like that, do not go to OSU. Do not.
For legal reasons.
It's for
It's
legal
just
reasons.
fine.
What is the first thing y'all gonna do when y'all get back on campus?
I'm gonna definitely go to the waterfront.
Yeah,
I'm gonna walk through
waterfront.
the stew. I'm gonna get some Chick-fil-A from the
Cause
stew,
sometimes I go
man.
to the
Not your
Like
waterfront.
hungry ass want some Chick-fil-A. Please. Please.
Irish
The
Grill.
Irish
Chick-fil-A,
Grill.
it do be hitting.
Nay, don't lie on Pirates Girl.
I'm
Please
not
don't.
going
That
to
turkey
no
burger be
cab
They
fire.
Oh, we
I
have a
go
whole
to
Pizza Hut.
to eat.
Pizza Hut. I forgot
Wait,
about Pizza
Starbucks?
Hut.
Starbucks is on.
Starbucks. They opened a new Starbucks in like
Oh,
They
it's
California.
is.
Oh,
so
I'll go
bad.
there. I go to
It's
Starbucks.
busting. It's busting.
But nah, it'll get us back to
Janelle,
something
is
that
it
we used to
busting?
do. It'll
Well,
get
yeah,
us
that's
back to
true.
something that we really used to do in the calf. What we used to do in the calf.
How we getting in the cast?
Call.
How we getting in the calf? Oh my gosh. We do not have the calf no more.
We gonna
I
swipe
have
our
no
IDs. They
dorms,
gonna be
no
like,
cab.
Man, y'all ain't got no food.
See,
Oh, we,
I don't think though the cap is gonna be buffet style anymore, anyways. So
Oh, that'd be
I
terrible.
mean, but we can
Oh,
still sit down
ew.
though.
Y'all saw how it was when we had. You remember when COVID happened or we had a
They
lighthouse.
didn't know
Y'all,
what to do. They didn't
it
know
was.
what
They
Oh
know
man,
what
I
to
What
pray.
do
do.
you guys think that on campus
Here.
life is gonna look like? For
Well,
those,
they already said that like a lot of the dorms, they're gonna try to convert them to singles. So
okay.
that's gonna be a little. And
Yeah,
then
but
I
how
know
are they
they
gonna
said
use
something about hybrid classes.
Y'all, Central State put a curtain in between the
Yeah,
beds,
like a little plexi thing. I'm
like
like,
one.
come on, man.
So you
Come
can't even see
on.
your roommates until
curtain.
y'all leave.
Right, just so you,
We love Central State. I heard people had saran wrap on the doors.
yeah, they
On
bogus.
that ain't gonna help
But the
nobody.
thing is, COVID doesn't live on surfaces though. It's only transmitted through like spit.
Yeah, like bodily
Like
fluids.
like if it's like if someone coughs on a piece of paper, you can't get
No,
COVID
I
from
think
that.
it does stay there for like
Yes, it
7
does.
days.
I mean, well,
Oh yeah,
it,
because remember
Y'all
people were
about to let
saying
this man just go?
Then they was talking about like they found particles of COVID on the cruise ship after it was left for a month. So,
yeah. I don't know what
oh
they're feeding you
no,
in
that's
Chicago, Darius.
It's
but
just
it's
it's
false
social
information.
media. It's
It's
social
everywhere.
media.
What
It's
is the
there.
craziest thing y'all seen on social media with COVID?
That
What have
black people couldn't get it. Remember at the beginning they said black
y'all?
people can't get COVID.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that
that
was
was
They
terrible.
set us
terrible.
up. They set us
But
up.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was a victim.
Go
I'm
ahead.
right. I was a
That's
victim. I
why
was a
I was a
Atlanta's
victim.
victim.
acting the way
I
they
was a
are.
I
victim.
thought we couldn't get it either.
Okay, what's like the craziest thing that we have experienced through this like whole pandemic?
Oh, them storming
I'm about
the
to say, I'm about
Capitol.
to say that.
Capital.
Like that was crazy.
I
That was
mean, low key. Sometimes when I be out in public, I just be looking around like, damn,
Oh, I
we
do too.
all
I'm
got
like,
on
I didn't
masks.
know you was
Yeah,
there.
it's like some Black
oh god.
Mirror
It's
episode.
and people started to use these a lot more during COVID. Like
Yeah,
I
I
think
saw that.
apps and stuff went up like 1,000% or something like that because Instagram, we're bored. But
Bored.
people been recording
TikTok.
everything too.
I
TikTok.
feel
Oh,
like
remember when
COVID.
they said we was gonna get powers? That
Bro,
was
please.
I
Uh,
don't know about y'all. I
I
got
don't know what
mine.
y'all. Yeah, I got my
I ain't
powers.
Yeah, I
got
ain't get no
mine.
powers.
That's what I
what
want
powers
to.
you got?
Right. I'm finna go invisible.
you'll find out.
And we have seen some crazy stuff during COVID and Corona, and so many things that even racial injustice was brought out during Corona and everything, just because people was using this. They didn't have time just to let things blow over. People was
Do you,
recording, people were saying things, and people was making things happen because they didn't have time to do it. They didn't have
Fake.
they didn't do anything else. I just hope that doesn't go away.
Hmm.
I just hope that doesn't go away. Like, do y'all think that's gonna go away just because we go back to school and stuff like that? We just gonna walk all over it?
No.
Social media? Mm-mm.
Oh, what?
What are you
I
talking
think
about?
that people are aware, and not just black people. I think white people, all people are aware of the lack of human rights, the lack of justice that is going on with black people, and I think that they're going to keep fighting for that and keep striving for that. And with that being said, we're going to wrap up our segment of Let's Talk About It. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank
and we hope to see you next time. So tune in to our
Subscribe, like,
like and subscribe. And thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.